Question number 1 era har sai da para mais mas que uma jaldi bem que aí as na como tu aí para agora setting from that kalau
Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. In the previous lecture, we were discussing certain features of carbon which makes it unique and due to which the carbon it forms a variety of compounds, and we see that there are almost the carbon it is present in every sphere of our life. What are these features and how do they affect its occurrence? We were discussing. Carrying forward the same topic, I told you in the previous chapter, in the previous lesson, that carbon it has certain unique features, certain unique properties which makes it versatile. That is the versatility of the carbon. Number first property was its tetravalency. Tetravalency. What is valency? I am writing here valency. It may be defined as the number of electrons lost gained or shared by a substance. In order to get stable, number of electrons lost, gained or shared by a substance in order to gain stability, this is called as valency. In order to get stable, all the elements, they sometimes lose electrons, sometimes they gain the electrons, and sometimes they share the electrons in order to be stable. When does an element get stable? There are three conditions. Number first, if an element is having one shell, only one shell, then it will be stable only when its outermost shell, that is, it has only one shell, it has two electrons. In chemistry, we call this as duplet. D-U-P-L-E-T, duplet. Duplet means two. So, if there is an element, it has only one shell and its shell, it contains two electrons, then we can say that its duplet is complete, it will be stable. But if there is an element which has more than two shells, then more than one or more than two shells, then this element, it will be stable only if its outermost shell, it contains at least 8 electrons. Then only it will be stable, and in chemistry we call this as octet. Octet, O-C-T-E-T, octet. Octet means 8 electrons. So all the elements, they try to be stable, but for gaining stability it must have either 2 electrons when there is only one shell, or it must have 8 electrons when there are more than 2 shells or there is more than one shell. So this carbon, as I have discussed earlier, that in its outermost shell there are 4 electrons. Carbon has 4 electrons in its outermost shell. So it can be stable only if its octet is complete. That means there must be 4 electrons, 8 electrons in its outermost shell, but it has only 4 electrons. What does it do to get stable? In order to get stable, it must gain 4 electrons or it must lose 4 electrons. But gaining 4 electrons or losing 4 electrons, it is not easy for this carbon. In order to get stable, carbon, it has 4 electrons, but it must have 4 more electrons in order to get stable. But for this purpose, it either has to lose electrons, that is lose these 4 electrons, or it has to gain 4 electrons. But gaining 4 electrons and losing 4 electrons, energetically it is not possible. Why? Because the size of the carbon is small, and these electrons, they are held by nucleus more strongly, because electrons, they have negative charge and the nucleus has positive charge. This outermost shell, it is more closer to the nucleus due to its small size, and these electrons, they are held more strongly to the nucleus. So it is not possible to lose 4 electrons, and it is also not possible to gain 4 electrons from any other element. So what does it do? It shares these 4 electrons. The carbon, it shares 4 electrons with 4 different elements or 4 different substances to get stable, to complete its octet. So this sharing of electrons, when an element shares its electrons with another element, the relationship is built between them, and this type of relationship we call this as covalent bond. Covalent bond. So carbon, its valency is 4. Why its valency is 4? Because it shares these 4 electrons with 4 different elements or 4 different substances. So we call that this carbon, its valency is 4. When an element shares its electrons with another element, a bond is formed between these 2 elements, and this bond is called as covalent bond. So what is a covalent bond? Covalent bond, it is basically the type of chemical bond which is formed by mutual sharing of electrons. The bond which is formed by mutual sharing of electrons between two atoms or two elements. This type of bond is called as covalent bond. And carbon, it forms covalent bonds. And the covalent bonds, these are very strong bonds. These are very strong bonds. So carbon, it is tetravalent in nature, and that means it shares these 4 electrons by the help of covalent bond. This is the first property of carbon which makes it versatile in nature, and we see different types of compounds in our day-to-day lives of this carbon. Number second is catenation. Catenation. Carbon, it shows the catenation property. What is catenation? Catenation is a unique property in which an element, it forms long chains. When an element forms long chains by joining its atoms, this property is called as catenation. What does carbon do? The different atoms of carbon, they self-combine. This catenation is also called as self-combination. The different carbon atoms, they come together and they form long chains. This property is called catenation or self-combination, like this. This is carbon, another carbon atom, another carbon atom, another carbon atom. In this way, these 4 carbon atoms, they have joined together with each other and they have formed a chain-like structure. This self-combination of different carbon atoms to form the long chain, this is called as catenation property. This catenation property, it is a unique property of carbon. And this catenation property, the bonds formed between the different carbon atoms, this bond is covalent bond. And I have told you that covalent bond is a very strong bond. So when carbon atoms join together to form long chains, these chains are very strong because of the presence of covalent bonds. It forms long chains. This is one reason. Another reason that the carbon, it forms different types of compounds. Sometimes we have seen certain compounds which have long chains of this carbon atom, more than 100 carbon atoms, they join together and they form long chains, and also that these long chains, they are stable in nature. So this is another property of carbon which makes it unique and which makes it versatile in nature. Third property of carbon which makes it versatile is formation of covalent bonds. As discussed earlier, carbon, it shares its outermost electrons with another elements or atoms, and thus it forms the covalent bonds. So the covalent bond formation, it is another unique feature of the carbon that makes it stable and versatile in nature. Carbon always forms covalent bonds. Why? Because as discussed earlier, when we see its electronic configuration, the electronic configuration of carbon, it is K2 and L4. That means this is the first shell, this is the second shell. And first shell, that is K shell, it contains 2 electrons, and second shell, that is L shell, it contains 4 electrons. Now, this L shell, it is the outermost shell. So, in its outermost shell, it has 4 electrons. In order to gain stability, the carbon, it either has to lose 4 electrons or it either has to gain 4 electrons, because it will be stable only when its octet is complete. That means its outermost shell, it should have 8 electrons, but it is short of 4 electrons. Now, it has 3 options. Number first, it will gain 4 electrons. 4 plus 4 makes 8. In this way, it can become stable. Or it can lose these 4 electrons. It can lose these 4 electrons, and in its outermost shell there will be 2 electrons. But losing and gaining, it needs a considerable amount of energy. As I have told you that carbon, it has smaller size. The size of carbon atom is very small. In its first shell there are 2 electrons. In its outermost shell there are 4 electrons. These 4 electrons, they are negative in nature and nucleus is positive. These 4 electrons, they are closer to this nucleus. So nucleus, it binds these 4 electrons more closely. So due to the proximity of the outermost shell to the nucleus, the outermost electrons, they are held more tightly, more strongly to the nucleus. So losing these 4 electrons, it is very difficult. And also gaining 4 electrons, it is also energetically non-stable. Energetically, it is not possible. So here remains only one possibility, that is to share these 4 electrons. So this carbon, it shares these 4 electrons with 4 different elements in order to be stable. For example, here I am giving you the example of methane. Methane is a gas and it is naturally present in the marshy areas under the soil. Its chemical formula is CH4. The chemical formula of methane is CH4. That means it is 1 carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atoms. How does the formation of methane take place? I am explaining here. Look, this is carbon, and carbon has 4 electrons in its outermost shell. These dot-like structures, these are the 4 electrons. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 electrons, outermost electrons of carbon. Now, in order to be stable, it needs 4 more electrons. What it does? Another element is hydrogen. Hydrogen has only 1 electron. Hydrogen has only 1 electron because its atomic number is 1. So this hydrogen, it is also unstable. Carbon here, it is unstable, and here hydrogen, it is unstable because hydrogen, it has only 1 shell. It needs 1 electron. And carbon, it has 4 electrons. It needs 4 electrons. Now what it does, the hydrogen, it shares 1 electron with this carbon at this end. Another hydrogen, it shares its electron at this end. Third hydrogen, it shares its electron at this end, and one more hydrogen, it shares its electron with the carbon at this end. What happens now? This hydrogen, it gets 2 electrons. Now it is stable. This hydrogen, it has 2 electrons. It is stable. This hydrogen, it has 2 electrons. This is also stable. And this hydrogen, it has 2 electrons. It is also stable. And for the carbon, there are now 8 electrons. 2 from this, 2 from this, 2 from this, and 2 from this. Now, carbon has 8 electrons now in its outermost shell. So both carbon as well as hydrogen, they get stable by sharing electrons. Not losing electrons, not gaining electrons, but by sharing electrons. In this way, this methane, that is CH4, is formed by mutual sharing of electrons, and when they share, a bond between them is formed which is called as covalent bond. So carbon, it forms the covalent bonds, and these bonds, they are very strong. This is another reason that the carbon, it forms large number of compounds, and in our day-to-day lives we see different types of compounds of carbon. So these are the three reasons of the versatility of carbon. Once again I am repeating, first property which makes the carbon versatile in nature, that is the tetravalency. Second property is the catenation. And third property is its covalent bond formation. These are the three properties of carbon which makes it versatile in nature, and you must remember that this is very important topic regarding carbon and its compounds. Now moving to another topic, that is the occurrence of carbon. Where does the carbon occur in nature? Carbon occurs in nature in free state as well as combined state. But in free state, the percentage of carbon is very low. It is very reactive in nature. It mainly exists in combined state. In free state, the carbon, it exists in the form of diamond and graphite. Once again, carbon exists in nature in free state as well as combined state. Free state means when the carbon is not attached or linked to any other substance, when it is pure carbon. So in nature it exists in free state, but in the form of diamond and graphite. But it is very rare, its percentage is very low. It also exists in nature in combined state. Combined state is when carbon, it reacts or it is attached to any other substance, then we call that carbon, it is in the form of combined state. In combined state, the carbon, it exists in the form of carbonates. We will discuss further what are carbonates. Second, it exists in the form of carbon dioxide. Third, it exists in the form of fossil fuels. That is coal, petroleum and natural gas. And also it is present in combined state in nature in the form of the lipids, the carbohydrates, the proteins and many other compounds. So this carbon, it exists in nature in the form of in free state as well as combined state. In free state, it exists as graphite and diamond, and also there is another substance which we call as Buckminster fullerenes, but it is very rare in nature. In combined state, it exists in the form of carbonates, in the form of carbon dioxide, in the form of fossil fuels, that is coal, petroleum and natural gas, lipids, carbohydrates, proteins, etc. So our next topic is occurrence of the carbon and what are the allotropes of carbon. This is most important topic of this chapter, allotropes of carbon. We will discuss this allotropes of carbon or allotropy. This property is called allotropy. We will discuss in next lecture, because we cannot, as I have discussed with you, that it is difficult to upload large size videos. So for today it is enough.